Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Talking Raw. I am your host, Kris. It is nice to have you guys back, but first I'm going to remind you guys to please, if you're not a subscriber already, hit that subscribe button and make sure you like the video, make sure you share it, and you comment. So let's get into Raw. I must say, I was very harsh on Extreme Rules last night, and rightfully so, but I believe this episode of Raw, flipped the script. I thought Raw tonight was good. It was good. To me, the Samoa Joe stuff, everything that had Samoa Joe tonight was golden. Everything he did tonight was golden. But besides that, we had a mix of good, okay, and just there segments in tonight's show. There wasn't really anything that stood out to me as really bad outside of the Titus O'Neil and Kalisto match and the Enzo Amore and the club match. Other than that, there wasn't really any bad segments on the show. Nothing stood out outside of the Samoa Joe stuff. So we're going to get into Raw tonight. Starts off with a Bray Wyatt promo. Basically what he said was that he didn't get the chance to face the Beast. He's not going to get it right now. But everybody in the match, he named off everybody, is going to be a victim of Bray Wyatt. It was a fantastic promo. It was a good promo, but it doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, he's going to eat a pin anyway, so it doesn't matter. And what happened literally 20 minutes after this promo? He eats another pin. My Lord. How are we, the WWE, supposed to get invested in this guy if he doesn't get a big win against a big opponent? Randy Orton doesn't count for me. Okay, because Jinder Mahal interfered with that. Randy count. When is he going to get a big win? That's a good question. But I got to say about the Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns match, it was a very solid match. It was really, really physical. These two worked a very stiff match. But like I said, Bray shouldn't be taking pins at this rate. This is the second week in a row that he's taken a pin. And I got to say, I know it's cool to hate Roman Reigns, but he is really starting to grow on me. He's consistently improving at a very rapid rate. This guy is really, really good. If they can book him properly, I think WWE does have a big star on their hand. Roman Reigns is fantastic in the ring. He shows a level of intensity that very few men in this company can reach. And I think he is improving rapidly. And look, this is coming from somebody who I wasn't really a Roman Reigns fan, but he's growing on me, and he's really, really improving. Hopefully he's at a point to where I really care about him as a character come WrestleMania 34 when he eventually takes that title, maybe off of Brock. I'm not sure about that. Now, we then have Enzo Amore and Big Cass. They have an interview. He says that he doesn't know who attacked him. Cass says that he doesn't know who the attackers are either. Says that he's insulted that people think it's him who attacked Enzo. We then have Kurt Angle backstage. Alexa Cringe Bliss, that's my new nickname for her, walks in and says Bayley doesn't have what it takes to beat her. Alexa Bliss proposes a "This Is My Life" segment. Kurt Angle then blasts her idea by saying "This Is Your Life" was one of the worst segments on Monday Night Raw ever. Then makes a women's title match between her and Nia Jax. That's true. What Kurt Angle said was very, very true. That was a very, very bad segment, and I ripped it last week. I said, yeah, this is probably the worst segment on Raw ever. And it's funny that WWE is kind of chuckling at their mishaps and said, you know what, we screwed up. That's our bad. Hopefully they improve from this and they take notes and really see what they did wrong there and why they should never, ever, 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 ever repeat what they did last week with the "This Is Your Life" segment by Alexa Bliss. We then have Elias Sampson. He sings a song. Dean Ambrose comes out, hits Elias Sampson with the mic. Then The Miz shows up on the Titantron, says that there will not be a rematch tonight for the Intercontinental Championship, and hits him. Elias Sampson then attacks Dean and hits him with a swinging neck breaker. I will continue to say it. Elias Sampson is fantastic. He's fantastic. As for Dean Ambrose, I can't really say the same. I think Dean Ambrose is stale as hell at the moment. Major changes need to be brought to his character because right now he's having one of the worst 2017s out of any WWE superstar. What changes need to be brought upon his character? Maybe the Shield, maybe a Shield reunion or a heel turn, something. Because right now this guy is stale as anything. We then have Samoa Joe, and I'm going to go really in depth with this because he cut a fantastic promo, and this was one of the best segments on Raw in a long time. Joe comes out, says that he doesn't fear Lesnar, says he's envious of Lesnar, says he wants everything Brock has, including his part-time schedule, his ability to instill fear. Also, he wants Paul Heyman, but importantly, he wants Brock's title. Says he will take it from Brock. Paul Heyman then comes out, completely puts over Joe, says that he doesn't fear Brock, and Brock doesn't fear him. Says that he gets concerned for his client's opponents. Says he wanted the Finn Balor match because of the story, and then says that Joe was the worst case scenario. I love it. I love it. I love it. Says that Joe will take a piece of Brock at Great Balls of Fire. Says at Great Balls of Fire, Brock will be the worst case scenario for Joe, though. Joe then whispers into Heyman's ear, saying that he will choke him out. Says that this is what Brock's future holds. He then put Paul Heyman in the Coquina clutch. The crowd chants, "We want Brock." Joe picks up the mic and says, "So do I." Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Now, this is the segment that should have started off Raw. I mean, I don't know why they didn't start off Raw with this, get the crowd all hot. This was the best segment on Raw since the pipe bomb. And no, I'm not exaggerating by saying that. This segment was fantastic. This could be feud of the decade. Joe was brilliant in this segment, and I can't wait to see how Brock responds next week. I'm so excited for this match. If you didn't realize it from my Extreme Rules review, I am very excited about this match. We then have a backstage segment. Kurt asks Samoa Joe why he did that to Paul Heyman. Joe says that anyone who steps in his way will be put down, and that includes you, Kurt. Seth then sticks up for Kurt, and Kurt makes a match between the two for later on in the night. Another fantastic backstage segment with Samoa Joe. He is on fire right now. Right now, he is on fire. So, right now, I'm really hoping that Samoa Joe actually takes the title from Brock Lesnar. I think that is the best thing, not only for the WWE at the moment, but really for the fans. I mean, that's what the fans want. We want a champion who's going to be on the shows. And that's something Samoa Joe will do. And another thing is, I think this is leading to a Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe match. They planted the seeds, and I think they're going to have Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. And I think that's when Kurt Angle is going to get booted as general manager. We then go on to Sheamus and Cesaro versus Slater and Rhino. It was a short match. Sheamus and Cesaro win, then cut a pretty good promo on the Hardy Boys. I mean, I like Sheamus as a heel. I like Cesaro as a heel. There's just nothing... To me, there's just nothing next level about them. And I don't think that there's any really dream matches out there for this tag team. So, I mean, I'm not really excited that they're tag team champions. Hopefully it's a very short reign because I think these two are getting very, very boring. We then have TJP versus Mustafa Ali. TJP needs to get new theme music. It's a good theme, don't get me wrong, but it does not fit his persona, especially his heel persona, if that is what they're doing, if they're going to keep him as a heel. TJP wins in a very short match. I continue not to care about the Cruiserweight division, though, and that is a problem. TJP versus Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship confirmed for tomorrow night. I don't care. You don't care. Let's move on to the next segment. Another Goldust video shown. Again, it was great, but soon we're going to have to get something in the ring from Goldust. I mean, these vignettes, these video packages, they're fantastic, but soon we're going to have to get something from Goldust. So, again, these packages are really continuing to show that Goldust still has it. We have a backstage segment with Mickey, Sasha, Dana, and Alexa. And Alexa walks in. I mean, it started with Mickey, Sasha, and Dana, and then Alexa walks in. Sasha then looks at Alexa's championship and says, "Oh no," and then she leaves. Alexa is there basically trying to get Mickey and Dana in their corner, and then Mickey and Dana say, "Oh, we're going to be ringside for your match." It was an alright segment. I mean, I like the timing between Dana, Alexa, and Mickey. I think the interaction between Mickey and Alexa was always good, even on SmackDown. I thought these two had very good chemistry. Not necessarily in the ring, but on the mic, they had very good chemistry. We then have Kurt Angle pulling Corey Graves aside. I gotta say, the story is intriguing, but we all know it's going to lead to a Stephanie McMahon return, so whatever. I mean, I'm not excited for Stephanie McMahon to return at all. At all. We then have Kalisto versus Titus O'Neil. Why is this feud happening, by the way? This feud is like the worst thing ever. Kalisto wins if you care. I don't. I'm moving on to the next segment. Miz walks to the ring backstage and saw Cass beat up. The storyline continues to get more intriguing by the weeks. And I don't know. This just seemed like a setup by Cass to kind of make people think like, oh, I'm not the one that beat up Enzo. I don't know. It's getting more intriguing. I don't think it's the revival, and I think it is still Big Cass that beat up Enzo. I really do. We then have the Miz celebration, which was a really good segment. Not sure why they made the Miz look bad, though, the night after he won the IC title. I thought that was a bad booking decision. And even with this huge babyface interference, Ambrose is still very, very stale. So after the Big Cass beatdown, the ref tells Enzo that he has to find a new partner. Enzo then introduces the Big Show as his partner, and they go up against the Club. And wow, that Big Show promo was very cringe. With that being said, he does look fantastic. And if they want to push him as a heel for the next year, I think that'd be a good thing. Right now, as a babyface, I don't see anything for him. I think he'd be good for putting over younger talents, younger babyfaces, because right now the babyfaces on Raw, I mean, besides Seth Rollins to me is the only good babyface on that whole entire show. Roman Reigns is growing on me. No, Finn Balor is not good. Well, Finn Balor is good, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan of Finn Balor as a babyface. As a heel, he's fantastic, but as a babyface, I don't know. He's getting very, very stale. The Club seriously needs changes, though. Either the Balor Club or a move to SmackDown Live would benefit them tremendously. So I think those two need to move over to SmackDown or form the Balor Club. We then have a R-Truth video package. R-Truth completely overacted, but that's exactly the way this whole angle should be booked. So I don't have a problem with that. I'm looking forward to this R-Truth Goldust feud. I actually like R-Truth. I like Goldust. I think they'll put on a good feud. So I'm looking forward to that. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. The match really didn't get started. Dana Brooke and Mickie James attacked Alexa. Alexa wins by DQ. Whatever. I don't care about the women's division right now on Raw. I think the women's division on Raw is in Charles Barkley's terms, terrible. The division is terrible. And now it's getting back to SmackDown showing why their creative writers are better at showing the depth on the roster than Raw is. Because Raw right now has nobody outside of Bayley, Sasha, and Mickey and Alexa. I mean, Nia's alright. Nia's okay, but does anybody care about Nia Jax? No, you don't. So I'm not going to spend time talking about this match because there really is nothing to talk about. Paul Heyman then gets a call from Brock Lesnar. Heyman says he should instill that fear that Samoa Joe should have for him. Says Brock Lesnar needs to come to Raw next week and unleash the beast. My Lord, this program is going to be epic. I'm telling you right now, this has match of the year written all over it. The Beast Incarnate, the reigning defending Universal Champion, the one in 21-1, the original one in 21-1, versus the Samoan submission machine, the Destroyer, Samoa Joe. I can't wait. You shouldn't wait either. You shouldn't. I botched that whole thing. I'm sorry. Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins. It was a good match. I don't like that Joe didn't win clean. Bray Wyatt's video came on, and then Joe choked Seth out. I mean, there's nothing really else to talk about this match. I mean, Samoa Joe is going to go on a really hot streak for the next 5 weeks, and I think depending on how hot of a streak Samoa Joe gets on, I think we might be looking at a new Universal Champion, because what we saw tonight was a man on a mission. That was NXT Samoa Joe. That was the Samoa Joe that wanted his NXT championship so bad that he put Shinsuke on the shelf. And that was my favorite Samoa Joe. That was the Samoa Joe who wanted to beat Finn Balor down because he had the NXT championship and Joe didn't. And I think this program is going to be epic. I think Joe strives when he is in title feuds. So this is going to be no different. Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar is going to be epic. And that is it for Raw. Like I said, it was a good show. I mean, I can't say it wasn't a good show just due to the fact that Samoa Joe produced so much gold during this show that it's just hard for me to say it wasn't a good show. So I thought it was a good show. And if you did like this review, please do hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button as well and share this. And also let me know what you guys think about this Raw episode in the comment section below.